Hello and good evening. Welcome in, all my friends and followers. I hope everyone had a lovely, lovely Thursday. And listen, it is almost Friday. We've almost made it. So tonight, I'm excited. I get to have my friends on. Um, these guys, they got an email for me back in 2024. Um, and I said, "Hey, I saw your hotel, and I want to know, can my team come investigate it?" And to my surprise, they actually said yes. So we got to meet them in 2025, I think January of 2025. Um, they are Rob and Teresa, and they own the historic and haunted commercial hotel, and I am going to bring them on now. Welcome in, my friends. Hello.
Hello.
There they are. Good evening. Um, I know, did you hear me say that you got this lovely email from me in 2024
Oh
and
yeah.
asked if I could come, if the team could come investigate your
Yeah.
lovely location? In my mind, I'm thinking, did they read this and go, what the hell? some some more whack jobs who want to come in.
No, no, not at all. I think if anything, it pushed me toward that. It had always been there, teetering on it. And I think, it was just time to grab the bulls by the horn.
It's you know what, and I'm so glad you did. We have quite the experiences there and built quite the friendship. Just looking at who all's in our chat. Rochelle's here with us. Hey, Rochelle.
Hey,
Susan.
Michelle.
Hello.
I blame Eric. Happy Thursday, everyone. There's Dukers. Dukers is here.
Okay.
We'll get into Dukers. Looks like ESP Sarah is here. Hello.
Hi,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah, Mama Drew's. I'm pretty sure I saw Mama Drew's on here. Natalie. Hey, Natalie. Welcome, welcome.
Natalie.
Hey.
Yeah, and Charlotte. Looks like Charlotte's on here.
Hey,
All
Charlotte.
right,
Nice.
welcome in, guys. Thanks. Thanks for joining us. So, I told them before this, I'm kind of just going off script tonight. We it's nice when it's your friends, and Teresa's been part of PPC, and Rob has been coming to the last couple events with us, and he filled in for Teresa when we went to Beatty when she was unable to make it. So um he did a fabulous job. And it's the different vibe when it's your friends and you don't have to have a word verbatim like script of what am I going to ask them or what are we going to talk about. So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice for me. um
Yep.
so tell us about commercial. Tell us how you came to be the fabulous owners of the
Well,
historic and haunted commercial
Well,
hotel.
so Rob had lived here in Missouri for a short time in the 80s, and his aunt and his uncle still lived near Osceola. And so we came for vacation. We brought the kids down, long vacation. Um, he used to make fun of me for watching all the ghost hunter shows. And
Not
so he
wrong, no
wanted to
way.
surprise me. He wanted to surprise me and book a night at a haunted hotel. And so he Googled, and the commercial came up. And so he said, it's like, let's just go into town. I want to look at something. And so we pull up into town and pull up in front of the commercial. And it is closed and it is for sale. And he's like, well, that's why they didn't answer the phone. um, so we called the real estate agent really just to be nosy. At that point in the car, we just wanted to see her. And so Danetta had an office just a couple doors down, and she gave us the tour. And the whole time she's giving us the tour, she kept saying, the structural engineer's been through, this is safe. It's all safe.
Apologizing
Yeah.
the whole time. I'm so sorry.
It's really safe.
Just a real sales pitch.
because she hadn't been loved in a really long time. The owners before us, I believe, were a couple gentlemen, and they had thought that they could turn it into like a battered women's shelter. And so they were letting businesses and organizations sponsor a room. And fun fact, in little communities around Missouri, there's no regulation on how you do things. So every room was a mess, a little bit of disarray. But as she's giving us this tour and telling us the history of Osceola and the hotel, we no longer saw a lot of what you guys are seeing in the background here. We didn't see that. We saw what she was and what she could be. And we got back in the car and we're like, we should buy this hotel. And so instead of we bought a zoo, we bought a hotel in 2009. We would come for long weekends. You know what? We got home, unloaded the car, went over to his parents' house and said, you know, this is what we found and this is what we want to do. Rob's dad is always has been an entrepreneur. So he was like, well, let's do this. Let's do this. My family thought I was insane. Perhaps,
I can see that.
but we were young enough that we could do it, and if it didn't work out, you know, we could recover. But old enough that if we didn't do it then,
It wasn't going to happen.
we should not do it ever, you know?
Right.
So we did it, and in August 11 of 2011, we moved the whole family down.
ESP Paranormal wants to know, how do you know the commercial is a girl?
Because we assume genders here.
Because she's finicky.
Yeah, exactly.
She gets
A
finicky.
pain in the ass, a headache, all that stuff.
She's gonna get you.
Oh, you can pass. It's good. We're good. We're friends.
We're good. I've just always gotten a like a nurturing, caregiving kind of spirit, and so I've just always referred to her as her.
Her. I think most buildings
Yeah.
are like the old gal, or the girl. Just in general, I think that most of them are referred to as women, just because we are so unique and fabulous and have our character flaws and just show beauty with age.
Absolutely. Yeah, on board.
Took the word right out of my mouth.
There you go.
Oh my God. I love Rob, my hero. Here we go. It's already started. Good Lord. Okay. So you guys do it. You decide to do it. And I know, Rob, you were coming down and working on weekends and spending long nights there. When did you guys first realize that you're not alone in the hotel? Like, you have extra guests that never checked out.
2010 for old boy here.
2010. Coming down for long weekends, like I said, I'd take off up there on a Thursday and come back and work here till Sunday or so forth, and just sleeping in there. I had an incident in the middle of the night in the room, something I could not explain. And once, I'm pretty skeptical and I like to try to explain things away, and this I just could not. When the shit's happening and I'm wide awake, it's just, I could not explain it, I just woke up in the middle of the night, something wasn't right, my blankets were being pulled off me, I'm laying on my stomach. I got a real good write-up on Facebook that really detailedly explains it, but I'll try to cover it here. So the blankets, I lay on my stomach and the blankets are slowly falling down the end of my bed, into the bed, real slow, like the blankets are heavy, gravity's pulling me into the blankets. So I reach down to grab it, and right when I reach down to grab it, something pushes me down. I don't know what it is, it won't let me up because I'm face down. No noises are made, and I can't get up. And then all of a sudden it just lets go. And I spin around to see what the hell is going on, and there's nothing there. So obviously, my night of sleep is over.
Done.
It's still dark
Done.
outside, so I'll be damned if I'm going to go experiment, look for trouble. So I just kind of roll up in the bed, and we can all act tough, but when shit goes south like that, it's like, well, no,
In the fetal position.
we could, I could try to stay safe right here, and we'll figure it out in the daylight. So I just sat there all, I don't know how long. It felt like a couple hours. Just sat up in bed there, and I could hear what sounded. I explain it as hard sole shoes, whether it was high heels, whether it was cowboy boots, I don't know. But I was the only one in the building, and there was something out in that building, out in the hall, walking. A couple times throughout the night, I would hear something walking out in the hall, and I'm like, I got up that morning, called it a short weekend, decided I needed a vacation from the commercial hotel for a while, and I think it was probably 2 or 3 months before I decided that, yeah, we'll come down, and I made sure there was people with me this time,
Not alone.
Needed that little cushion there just in case I needed somebody to push down so they'd be slower than me if I needed to run. So,
Buddy system.
I was the token fall girl.
So I mean that just kind of solidified it because there's no way to explain that away. I tried to. I went back. I did all my research, sleep psychosis, and all that stuff, and it's never happened before, and it's never happened since. And when I stay awake in the bed, there was no me waking up and then realizing, nothing. No, I sat in that bed and waited till the sun came up, so I felt safe enough to get up, get my shit together, and get out of the building. And that's, since then, I come back, and Teresa came back, and she did her thing, or I don't know. I kind of say she did whatever she did, and for whatever reason, there's been nothing malicious since. There's been mischief, but not malicious. That was straight up malicious as far as I was concerned. I think they were trying to put me in my place, so I knew who ran this show and so forth. And they won, they were right. Yep.
They won.
As far as I was concerned, I left. Yep, it's yours.
Said Rob was wearing his brown pants.
Yes.
We spent most of our savings to purchase the girl, so and when it's going to be your home, you can't just walk away from it. So it's like separation makes things a little easier. So that's why I stayed away 2 or 3 months and stepped back, decided to come into it with a slowly and very cautiously. But now we're at the point where until something else happens, malicious, I'm okay. I'm fine. There's been a lot of stuff that's been prankish, I guess you could say, but then there's been a lot of honestly helpful things that have happened that I cannot explain. And hey, a lot more good than bad, that's for sure.
It almost sounds like they were like asserting themselves, like, listen, this is our home, and I see you coming in here and you're doing work, but you need to realize that we're here too, and don't forget that. And now you have respect.
We're from Iowa. We're total strangers to the area.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just trying to get us the hell out. Hey, move along. We've had you people come in here before, and with all these things you're going to do and all this stuff, but it never pans out. You're going to be no different, but trying to scare me off. But I think once they realized that, okay, that didn't work like we had hoped it, maybe these guys are doing right. And I think once we finally opened up to Airbnb in 2020 during COVID, and they seen all the improvements we've done to the building and so forth, I feel like they're kind of giving us a break.
Yeah.
Hey, these guys are doing something. They're bringing the public to us, or however you want to look at it.
Yes. We haven't given up.
Yes.
We've had ample opportunities to walk away from.
Yeah.
Well,
even
the
locals are. I'm really grateful that we keep going after it. But even they're like in awe that I think we've renovated 4 times. I think we've had 4 almost total renovations since we've owned the building.
Nice.
We had the wall collapse in 2010, and that wasn't a little deal. That made 11. That means Springfield paper. I mean, a complete 30-foot section, 3-story tall, triple brick wall collapsed. Roof caved in, all that stuff. But we ended up, I had relatives in the area that were into construction and all that stuff, and I just sat back and said, is it worth saving? And there's like, do you want to save it? Yeah. Then we're going to save it. And they just rolled up their sleeves and had her all shored back up within a week, and it was just closing her back in. And Now you can't even tell we lost a wall.
No,
You know,
no.
last year this time we lost the roof, wrapped it around a few cars in the courthouse parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, once
Oh
again,
man.
got some great, got some help there and got a new roof on her, and she's drier than she's ever been. And that's kind of what opened it up so we could approach the forgotten wing, I guess you could say, because we had been
Mm-hmm.
fighting water leaks back here the whole time. And it's really
Mm-hmm.
hard to even try to progress in certain areas when you can't even keep it dry. So once we got
Right.
that new roof and got it all rubbered and dried up and stuff, it's like why don't we clean it up and just let people see, the part of the building that was walked away from in the 70s was the last
Mm-hmm.
time it was in anybody was back here.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and that's what we're kind of trying to do with the forgotten wing, is just let these guys see
Mm-hmm.
kind of what it is. And it's rough back here, but you can get the vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that too. And then I'll never forget like the first time we were there, and I, I was like, can we walk back there, please? Can we just see it? You guys were like, it's kind of messy.
Yeah.
Floor's kind of,
Yeah.
floor's kind of iffy. I'm like, okay, we'll be careful. Just let us see it. And Teresa opened that door to walk back there, and immediately I heard someone say, "Leave it," and I'm like, "What?" And it was, you have to leave one room, at least one room, the way that it is, just so people can see. It doesn't have to be all pretty and really, redecorated and freshened up. It's just at least one room to see what she was and who she is and how far you've come, you know, and really step back in time and get that feeling and that vibe. And I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of my favorite areas back there, but that's that's a story for a different day. And when we come back again. So anyway, we have a clip that we're gonna play from the first time we were there in the Sally Rand suite. And I'm sure, Rob, when your event happened to you, that it looked nothing like it does today, which I don't think you'd completely renovated, right? You were just started staying in there, so it was probably just like a
Yeah,
bed
that,
and
that room was pretty much finished. That's the only livable room when we got this building. And we kind of, when we was coming back on our long weekends, that's kind of where we stayed while we tried to get the other rooms livable. I wasn't going to move the
got it.
family down here without a living room, basically a house portion on that other half. So
Right,
that's kind of where we
right.
stayed at. Wow.
Okay. So we had come and we left our recorder rolling in this room, and we went off to dinner, went off to Sugarfoot Barbecue and had a lovely meal. And we didn't know we caught this until we got home and we started reviewing some evidence. So wait, I'm getting messages from the other side. Oh, Susan and Charlotte, real quick before I do that. Susan said you guys have. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I think we've sent that to you before. But it was just interesting hearing that EVP and then the lighter. And I don't know what kind of lighters would they have used, but obviously that wouldn't have been a Bic. But you know what I mean, like
Probably like a
just something
Zippo.
caught in time. Yeah, like a Zippo. Yeah, like it was a flipping. Like yeah. And then the kid jumping on the bed was probably tied to that little gown hanging in the closet. But that creepy, creepy little thing. Um, but yeah, that was interesting that we caught that when we weren't in the room, and I'm pretty sure I stopped you guys and I was like, "Who was here? Like, where were you guys?" And I think you had left the same
Yeah,
time we
we
did.
went to the movies that night.
Yeah, so you were gone, so there was no one in the building when we caught that. Um, let's see. He was telling me he was yelling at me because I'm not giving people in the comments. Susan said you all have done an amazing job with the place, and the spirits see that. So kudos. They're giving you your
Thank you.
flowers. Yes.
Thanks.
Charlotte, so excited to be there in August. Yes. and we're going to talk about what's happening in August too. We are super excited for that one too. All right. Um, when you guys, before we came, you'd had another paranormal team in there, right? I think one before us,
Yes.
and they had done a pretty extensive, like, gave you like a script of everything they did, right? An
Yeah.
Okay.
investigation. Okay.
Yep.
So, and that was quite a few years before we got there, if I remember correctly. Was
I
there
think
a
so.
period of time where you were like, I don't think we want people to come in here and investigate? Like it's not what our goal is right now?
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. So um, we had we had an agreement. We had made an agreement, and
Agreed.
she was abiding, right? That's we were both keeping up our end of the deal. Um, I had told them that I understood that this was their home and it was going to be our home as well, um, and that they could stay, but they weren't allowed to scare us. Especially Rob and the kids and any guests that we had to come visit. Um, that initial conversation, I left out the dogs, and they found that loophole, um, and hid our Great Dane in the building. And so I was like, well played, like you found the loophole, but you can't mess with the dogs either. And so we were nervous to have investigators come in and stir up something that was malicious or had
Mhm.
ill intent, or um, bring something here that didn't belong
Right.
here. Um,
Right.
and so that group had reached out to Rob, and he did ignore them um, for a while, and they were persistent. And I think finally we were like, well, okay, fine, we'll try it. And they came twice, and they were nice. Older group, um, and they were nice. Um, but at that point,
Do you
we could
think
take it or leave it.
do you think it
You
was more
know,
of like, I don't want the validation of something that I already know, but like what if they come in and tell me things that like are gonna make you want to wear brown pants every day?
I, I think that's a big part of it. Our kids were still young, and they never had fear of the hotel. There was a period of time where we didn't have electricity. Like we redid all of the wiring and the water lines, and they would come up here to the third floor, and they would play in the dark. I mean, they had no
Creepy little
fear.
shits.
Creepy little
Love
shits.
that.
They had no fear, and so we didn't want to create any fear for them.
Sure.
Now, they saw shadows, they saw shadow figures, and they named named it Julio because that's a funny name. And so for them, right? They're definitely Rob's kids. Um, so to them, that was a funny name. And when um, their computer area was out in the main hallway, um, and they would come into our living space, and they're like, "Yep, we're done. I'm done." Julio went down to the basement, like. So we just we didn't want to agitate anything or anyone,
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
think, I was kind of on the one-track mind of the Airbnb portion of it, spending time getting
Yes.
that all up and going. And I think it's a hard dance to dance between, because you're trying to find a happy medium
Good
between
medium.
trying to promote both sides of that, because you don't want
Right.
to chase anybody away, but you don't want the wackadoodles running through too.
Yeah, I love wackadoodles, love it. So I have
Then
to
you
read this
realize Jody lives with the wackadoodles, so.
um,
Embrace
ESP
it.
couple said, Rob is the love child of Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee.
Thanks, guys.
And then Dukers wants to know, do you have any bats living in the hotel asking for a friend?
I think we've come across a bat.
I have not had a bat in here, but I can't believe they're not here somewhere. But
I did not see the bat when we were there. I just want that for the record. I didn't see it. So I think it's funny. Now, when I see the bat,
I think
that's a
Quinn
different story.
manifested it.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too. Haunted Souls, welcome in, friends. Good to see you here.
Hey, Dan. Maddie.
Hey, Dan and Maddie.
Yeah. Tim said there's a bat. Okay. So you let these guys come in and they give you, basically their manuscript of their investigation, and you read through it and you're thinking, okay, so that's not so bad. And you go about business, right? And then several years later, you get my email and you're like, oh, here we go again. God dang it. Here we go again. And you let us come in and we had a fabulous time and we broke your bed. I broke your bed. I'm sorry. And you let us come back. And that's the most amazing part. You let us come back. Oh, it was so much fun. I think we have another clip from our second investigation. Again, in the Sally Rand suite. There's something to that place. I'm telling you, that little room holds a lot of energy. This one, we were getting activity with the cat balls, and we were trying to get all three to go at once. So if Mr. Eric wants to, oh yeah, you like those headphones too, Sarah, don't you? Those big flares. Anyway, Eric, you want to roll the cat balls from Sally Rand?
Yeah, a ball right up there. You see it?
Get that third one.
It's in the bonnet. I said I can't. I think you can.
Get the one in the bonnet. You can do it.
Is it because it's too high up?
There's one on the bed here too. Can you get that one?
You don't think it's from that refrigerator vibrating, do
That
you?
would be this one over here. Can you get them all three? Come on. I know you can.
1, 2. Number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped.
Touch the one in that bonnet. Get all three.
You can do it. Come on.
Here, I got an idea. What if I do this?
Hang it on the door.
That's what I'm gonna do. You can do it now.
It's strong.
Yep. Get all three. Get the one in that bonnet there.
Get the one in that bonnet.
Yes, you got it.
Bonnet, it said. You hear it?
Bonnet. Yep. Let's do the bonnet.
I got you.
Hey. Can't hear is that we actually had the portal run in the background, and you could hear bonnet come through, and we were rooting so hard for them to hit all three at the same time, but it didn't happen. It was all, we just had the double back and forth, which was kind of cool. So, and then we were in there for a good 10 or 15, maybe even 20 minutes before any of that started happening. And then all of a sudden we were just talking amongst ourselves, and we look over and it's like, hey, what about me? Hey, don't forget about me. So very, very cool. Love that room. And it looks like Brandy said when they come, that's where Bella gets to sleep, is in the Sally Rand suite. Dan said, I wonder how many emails Lora sent before you actually answered. You answered on the first one, I think.
I did, yeah. First one. Yeah.
Yes. See, it wasn't that bad. And then it looks like they are talking about the bats again. All right, so let's talk about the bats real quick. We go to Beatty with Dukers, and there are bats in the basement. Now, not just one bat, there are two bats. And all of a sudden, every man turned into a screaming little girl when these bats came flying at our heads and doing circles. and it was chaos. And we have that. And I told Eric it needs to go out on a bloopers clip. And here's Rob at the end of the hallway. And I can't hear him, but he's down there with Dukers. But I do hear screaming or like grown man. Oh my God. Yeah, like it was great. It was fantastic. And Teresa,
That's good.
I wish
It's
I
very
wish you could see
possible,
this.
a traumatic incident, you just kind of go black out. So I ain't gonna say I wasn't. I'd like to see the video because I probably was.
It's it's infamous. Okay, and then I didn't, but they decided that they were going to go down the long hall at Beatty, and apparently I did not close the door, and here comes the bat again into the hallway, and Dukers is telling Rob to go shut the door down this long hallway and starts singing There Goes My Hero, because Rob mans up and goes down there to shut the door so the bat can't get us. It was
His
fabulous.
serenading just did something to me. His
It
serenading just
did.
did something to me. The voice of an angel. The voice of an angel.
Therefore, going forward, flying pterodactyls have been in a lot of
Yeah,
clothes. Like
might as
they're
well
almost
been.
everywhere we go. So
Now, I will
speaking
tell
of,
you, we had bats in our house in Iowa,
Uh,
and he was not my hero.
no,
He would scream like a little Nancy,
no.
and our oldest son would take care of the bats. So he's got big love for you, Jukers. Like, big love.
Sacrifices need to be made.
so one more thing about Beatty that I will mention. Like I said, it was Rob's first investigation with PPC, and he and Dukers were at the end of that hall, like I said, and they hear a voice. And I can hear them. We don't have the video, but I can hear the audio. And they're both like, "Did you hear that? Yep, heard that. What was that?" And we caught it on our camera. And I forgot what it was. It was something, we actually made out what it was said. It was like you got the toys out or something, because I had gone into the other room and I'd gotten the cat ball out and I was asking for it. But it was interesting for Rob, I think, for one of his first investigations to hear a disembodied voice, out of,
The first.
how cool is that? Like, how many investigations do we go on and you never get to hear that? But on his first one, boom, he gets to hear a disembodied voice.
Yeah.
Little jealous is all I'm saying. Little jealous.
It's something you can't explain. Like I told you, it's there, but it's not there. It's like on the other side of a wall or something, yet it's right in your ear. That was interesting. That was very interesting.
Do you think?
I sit up here and like, why don't I hear it around here? And I'm like, because everything I do, I got my Pandora playing in my ear, just to keep working and keep motivated. That's, I got Pandora blaring up from my phone, so I ain't
Right.
hearing nothing around here, nothing like that. Maybe if I shut the phone off, but the last thing I want to do is hear something like that in the place that I live, That's why I won't
Exactly.
investigate or anything here. No, I'll let everybody else investigate all they want. They get to go home. I don't get to. I got to put up with what the findings are. So we
Yes.
do the little tour and then I'll go into hiding because, sorry guys, it's good to go. Like a baby, I could walk away from it and I don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Hey, MT. I saw she was on too. Welcome in. Rochelle says Rob has great energy and brings him out. Was the door closing behind him at Beatty?
Oh,
I
shit.
don't know what that's.
That was brown pants big time. Yeah.
Oh man. Was there a cat at Beatty as well? Yes. Yes, there was. There was multiple kitties. They seem to be everywhere. Mabel the cat was there at Beatty, if you investigate. We're going back to Beatty next month, so we will see Mabel the cat. What do you guys think? This past weekend, you both got to join us at MSP for an investigation there with quite a few teams. And what was your initial thoughts walking into the prison? Like, what did you think? Like,
Beautiful location. Beautiful. Everything's got to be done to save it. But yeah, go ahead.
As, um, overwhelming.
It is.
Overwhelming. Not in not in a bad way, um, but like just trying to focus on um, where you want to go, and where you need to be, and try to be open to everything that's around you. But I was gobsmacked. It's huge, huge.
And we didn't even go
Huge.
everywhere. That's the thing. Like, we could have gone
Yeah.
up and Gen Pop and, spent so much time. 8 hours is never enough. But
No.
by the end of it, you're so drained. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then you want to go back again. Like you're already planning, like, okay, I
Oh
need to go
yeah.
back again.
Yeah. Even
So,
driving home, we were like, we want to go. We want to take the day tour.
Every chance we
yeah.
get. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
just to soak that in, and we hope that the team decides to go back to MSP again, because it's one of
Mhm.
those places that, I mean, there's just no way to do it justice in one 8-hour trip.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No. Mm-mm.
I was humbled and grateful that we got to go to the gas chamber. Um, I was really grateful for that, to be able to see that and experience that, and learn about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think in just your everyday life, you're like, oh, prison's bad, but that prison was bad. Like,
Prison was
and
bad.
yeah, and I mean, obviously, you do something wrong, you need to go to prison, but
It was Charlotte. It was their first time there.
yeah, the extent um, of that was just um, unimaginable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot.
I definitely recommend doing the day tour, doing the history tour. When you see it in daytime and then you see it at night, it's not the same. It's kind of like Windyville, Teresa, when it's this place in the daytime, and then it becomes dark, and you're like, this is not the same place
This
anymore.
is not the same.
No, this is not the same anymore. Duker says the day tour is amazing. Hopefully you get Michael. He is phenomenal. Yes, absolutely. I recommend my friend Mike Lear. He has dug into the history like no one I know. And I was telling you guys, he did a 3-part series on his podcast, Show Me Murder, and goes way in depth about the 1954 riot at MSP. So if you get a chance, definitely listen to that. You will look at it differently at the end after listening to all the details that he has gone into with it. So
Very good.
I think you guys have quite a few bookings for coming up, right? You guys have recently kind of opened the door
Yeah.
to having some teams come in and do some investigations there at the hotel. Um, You had your first team after us, right? Paranormal
Yeah.
Girls came in last weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some of their stuff online. Looks like they had a good time and caught some stuff. I know they're probably going to review evidence and put something out soon, but that's exciting. And then you have another one this weekend, right?
Yes.
Katie Trail.
Katie Trail. We've worked with Katie Trail
Yep.
several times. They're coming in. But first Saturday we go to Emmaus, and it'll be both of your first times there. Um, we are excited. I'm excited to get back to Emmaus, so kind of see how the energy's changed, or maybe not changed, and the vibe there. But while we do that, we're going to make the announcement that Rob is now part of PPC as well. So welcome to the team, Rob. Thank you, sir. We're
you.
excited to have you. Yes. We are now 6. We were 5, and now we were 6. So yay! Everybody, welcome Rob. He he did a phenomenal job at MSP. Started asking questions on death row, and I think I couldn't hear it, but I was reviewing some evidence on Monday maybe, and I heard some of the questions coming, and I was like, all right, good job, look at you, you got this. So Yay! Look, all right, ESP, congrats. Rochelle, woot woot. Spooky Dookie, congrats. So yay! We're excited. We'll put out Rob's full bio, including being a hero, shortly on our page. He takes requests on investigations, so keep that in
Oh,
mind.
now.
Um, Tim says, "Welcome to the shit show." LMAO. We love it. Yeah, so we are excited for that. Charlotte says, "Congratulations." So yeah, yay, Rob! Yay, Rob! See, everybody's happy. We're one big happy family now. So you have Katie Trail come in, and then you also have some others that have booked. I think Brandy and Bella are coming. Haunted
Bella,
Souls and
yep,
Dukers.
Bella, yep. And then
Yep.
show me Spooky. They're in November. It's a ways away, but Show Me Spooky's in there.
Yes. I think November. Yeah, he was talking to us about getting in there. Rochelle wants to know what your favorite cookie is, Rob.
Oh, whatever you make, dear. Those are some good ones.
McKenna says, when I posted my video, I thought it said, Rob, did you hear the EVP when I asked the spirits at MSP about him? Did you guys, what'd you think about that? I saw that yesterday.
Did you? So, McKenna, MT, their group went into 3D after we did, and they got your name on EVP. Yeah.
Did not know it was 3D where we did that first trigger wire, and where we was doing Danny was doing Estes.
That is Death Row. That was Death Row.
When we had our singing debut.
Oh, where
That
we
was
sang.
3D.
Voices of angels, all of us. I want everyone to know. So be prepared.
Twerk and everything going on down there.
You got to get them going somehow. I mean, come on.
I didn't
Twerk
think
and
Eric
Teresa
would
knows
twerk.
what to do.
I didn't think Eric would twerk, but he twerked.
You did.
Just kidding.
Which one? Which Eric?
Yours. Oh, I imagine Pearson was doing it too. The twerking Erics.
Oh, man. They're the twerking Erics. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Teresa told them everything. Rob only eats the souls of bats. Oh, God. You eat the souls of bats on top of being a hero. We sang Stand By Me, and it was amazing. I just want everyone to know that in 3D. We did. Wait for that clip. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be like, wow, these people can sing.
That's right.
So don't stop. Get it. Good grief. That's funny. All right. Back to booking the hotel. Okay. So you guys have recently opened it up and you're taking bookings. How does one book a private with you guys? How would we go about getting in touch with you and booking a private?
We do it a little bit different, and Rob handles all of that. But there is a process because we do book through Airbnb and VRBO. So most weekends we have 2 to 3, 4 rooms rented through Airbnb and VRBO. So you can email Rob.
Yep. You message me directly, email me, however, and then I'll send out like an application process. And you know, there's been a few comments about how extensive our application process is. That I don't think a lot of these people understand that first and foremost, it's my home, you know, and you know, you're wanting to come into my home and search, and I'm fine with that. That's awesome. That's great. But there's just some things that I don't want in here. There's certain forms of investigation that just there's no place for here, or I don't like here.
Right.
And that's really all we're trying to get to figure it out, you know. But after that, we get through I'll send you that. Hey, this is our rules and so forth. Ask for a few references and a little bit of what you're going to do with the social media, and then it's good to go. But that's just the process. You holler at us, we send out a document, you fill out the document, send it back. Then what we do is once everything's good to go and we agree that you want to do it, what I'll do is clear that whole day off of Airbnb. You'll give me like 3 dates that you want to do it in priority. And then I'll just clear that, you know, whichever one works the best that an Airbnb has not already claimed. because you guys don't want to be in here when there's Airbnb. You know, we don't want you. We want you guys to have the quiet and access to every place you could possibly get to. So we want to make sure Airbnb is totally off the books. Everything's blocked from them being able to access the building during that time. So that's why we asked for the 3 separate dates. That's why we don't have a calendar, because our calendar is kind of fluid. You know, it kind of coincides with Airbnb. So that's why we kind of, you know, we just ain't got a calendar where you can sign up for. So that's the process. Sure. Once you give us those 3, I'll prioritize them. You'll get the first one that's totally available. I'll block that from Airbnb so you guys get the whole building, and then it's good to go.
And we're not trying to be like offensive.
Yeah.
About different forms of investigation. We're still very green, if you will. And we live here, and we live in a very rural Missouri community in the Bible Belt. And so, you know, we just want to be cautious, and we understand that, you know, in the right hands, those tools can be used, and with great success for a lot of people. The problem is we don't know. You know, everybody that has a Ouija board is like, well, I know how to use it. And we don't know that. So we're not trying to be offensive or like boo you, or we don't think you're evil, or anything crazy like that. It's just what our comfort level is right now, and someday that may change. But that's where so we're not trying to be assholes, or to be offensive, in any way, shape, or form.
No, and I get that. And mostly, you know, almost every location we've ever gone to has their own set of rules, and that's fine. I mean, I almost think that should be expected, you know, from different places. So just be mindful of every location and what their rules are, and it should be good. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
During that tour of the MSP, Reese hit the nail on the head when she explained about the entity that most likely had been brought there by somebody else. And that's, you know, that's after my experience in the South Rain room in the early days, I don't need that back, you know, and that just kind of drove home that, yeah, we're doing it the right. I feel like, yeah, we're doing it the right way for us.
Yes.
We've got
Rob, that's
a
awesome.
really
You definitely need
good
to know
working relationship with our spirits, and we'd like to keep it.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think Dukers wants to know if he can hang out with you and play PlayStation in your room.
PlayStation.
But
It's
Rob
more of
has
an
to sing to
Xbox.
you the whole time. Yeah, can I hang out with you? Do you have a PlayStation? And then he says the only stipulation is you have to sing to him the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. The whole time. Live, not none of this repeat stuff on your phone.
Oh my God. Okay, so one more clip
I wish
before I
you'd
forget.
record that. You'd record it and
Oh,
put it on loop so I can play it at night on my Wi-Fi and
Yes.
when I sleep.
Yes, because you need a bedtime lullaby.
Yeah.
One more thing. The last time we were there, we were down in Rob's area, and it's almost like we were being told on, because Rob, he's not lying when he said he dips and hides. Like, he's gone. Like, you don't see him again after you check in. Like, he's gone. And we love Teresa. We knew we were going to have Teresa as part of the team, because she will, like, hey, what are you doing? What are you going to know there? What's going on? And she wanted to come with us, and we should have had her. But we were down in Rob's area. It's his space. It's his workspace. And we turned on the portal, and we get a very clear voice come through, and it was telling on us. So I'm going to have Eric play this, where we got told on by spirits. He's going to bring it up. We really appreciate you guys talking to us and communicating.
I think take the stand-up K2 with you, Laura.
Okay.
Did that say that's Rob?
Holy crap,
That's Rob, is what it said.
that just gave me chills
Me
all the way
too.
up and down my body.
Me too.
Yeah, that's Rob.
Fun fact, Eric was coming down the stairs. He wasn't even down there. He was coming back down the stairs and he's like, "Did that just say that's Rob's?" And I was like, yes, sir. Yes, it did. Yeah, so to hear that out the gate, we were like, we were probably in a space that we probably weren't supposed to be. But yeah, you have very protective spirits, Rob. So that should make you feel good because we moved a couple of your items down there and they're like, "Mm-mm, no, sir, that's Rob's."
I
So it
giggle
kind
at
of,
him all the time because they really like Rob, and
hmm
um, anytime something happens, he still gets like
Oh, yeah. Today, yeah.
yeah, freaked out. Like he was getting a room flipped for a guest in the Carolyn Grimes room, and he noticed that they were out of toilet paper, and so he got everything done, laid the keys down on their dresser, and ran downstairs to get toilet paper. And when he came back up, there was a roll of toilet paper sitting on top of the keys that he had just sat down. And he's like, "How did that happen? I'm like, I'm the only one here." And he's freaking out, and I'm like, "Just say thank you." Like,
exactly.
Margaret Ann's doing her job. Just tell her thank you.
hmm
Uh,
hmm
and then we were getting set up for this. Rob wanted to do it in the Forgotten Wing, and so we wanted to set up a little seating space, like between two ferns, and the oil lamp. We set up last night and went downstairs. Rob came back up today, and the top of the oil lamp was laying flat. And
When I-
so,
yeah.
yeah. So
When
he
I went to
texted me.
set it down last night, to set it there on the table, I dropped and the globe fell off the top of it onto the ground. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna break. It never broke, and I was like, whoo. So then I was just baffled when I come up here earlier, and the globe was setting off and setting on the doily right next to it all nicely, and I'm like, I had to get Teresa on the phone. Did you do this?
They're
You
taking
won't fess
care
up
of
to it,
you.
so.
That's what I told him.
They're taking care of you. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
See, they
Yeah.
do. I'm telling you, they're very protective, and
They
it
are.
makes
We've
perfect
got
sense.
a really good relationship with them. We don't wanna ruin it.
No, no, no. Um, Eric and I, we've been quite a few places, and we talked about this with the team too. It seems like Jesse James has been everywhere, and you guys actually have. You don't have it in your possession, but you have, like, the ledger is signed by Jesse James staying there, right? And the young Cole, was it Cole and what's his name? The younger
Frank.
gang, the Frank, yes. And they're in the ledger too, right? Yes.
We got a photo, a photo of them in front of the building in 1903.
And yes. So when you go there, it's not just stories that are made up. I mean, it is facts of, what they have and the history that that building has seen. The commercial cafe and, in the basement where Truman had, ate numerous times. And, the people that work there, I kind of come through some newspaper, me being the nerdy historian that I am, going through the newspapers and finding some of the people that used to work there and seeing their faces, and just, I mean, it's there, like the guy that contacted you, Rob, and said, my mom was there, or the lady that was like a princess, then came and did a talk with the Rotary Club, and true story. Like they did the write up in the paper. Like it's just amazing, the history in that building and what it's seen. So I love it. I mean, it's a true testament to Western, like the old, that we haven't even touched on what happened in Osceola and how it was burnt. And we're not going to do that tonight. But before you go, you should definitely read what happened to Osceola, and kind of spawned Eric's dislike of Kansas too. But we're not going to get into that either. So not tonight. The Forgotten Wing. Talk a little bit about the Forgotten Wing, because I know you've been working on it. You're getting it ready. What's happening with the Forgotten Wing?
So the Forgotten Wing is like the back half of the upper story of the building. So back in the day, I'm going to say probably in the 70s, we got a flat roof on this building, and they just kind of, once one leak starts, it just keeps going and going. The proprietor back then really didn't keep up on it. The leak just grew more and more. And so they just basically shut the door. Next thing you know, 20 years later, the whole back half of the building is just they shut it off. So because they didn't want to address the leaky roof. So it's still set back to the 70s. Right now we aren't letting people back here because I got some floorboards where the floorboards are still ripped up from when they first put plumbing and water inside the building. I'm replacing those floorboards, so once we do get it open, I don't have to worry about investigators, tripping over and having to step over stuff. And we're just really cleaning it out, and so they can see what it is. It looks rough because of the moisture and the wetness over the years, the old wallpaper. But there's many layers of the old wallpaper that are still on the wall from turn of the century and even older. And a lot of the decorations and so forth we've accumulated over the years, so we can kind of give it a quick similar decor than what we picture it at the turn of the century.
Just kind of acknowledge that people were here, people stayed here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not open to the general public. It's a space for investigators to
Love
come
that.
in. There's a locked door for added space. It's not the only space that people will get to investigate, but just an addition that I think they'll appreciate.
Absolutely.
Like we do.
Yeah, it's an investigator-only area. It's you ain't gonna get it through the Airbnb. And that's
Right.
another thing when it comes to investigations and stuff. We've had subjects where they try to rent a room and think they're gonna access the whole building to do their investigations. Well, we got other Airbnb guests, and we just can't have that. So we ask and we encourage you to go through the proper channels to get an investigation going. We can't stop
Yes.
them when they want to play with things in their room and so forth.
Yeah.
But out
Right.
in general halls and stuff like that, just something we kind of really discourage and wish that they would go through the proper channels to get a true
And
investigation.
it's really not
Yeah.
much more
Yeah, no.
to get the whole hotel to investigate it. It's not a money grab. That's not what we're after. We make more when the Airbnb is booked. So
Right.
we wanted to let everybody have that experience. And so but it's good. I think
Well-
the Forgotten League is good.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's,
I think so. We spent a little time last time we were there back there, and Rochelle had quite the story. And isn't there some rumors about it being a brothel at some point? Maybe not a documented, but okay, not a
Yeah.
documented brothel, but there were some ladies of the night that were definitely
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
More of some
Yeah.
working girls grabbing some permanent
Yes.
rooms and doing their thing.
Yes. Yeah. Hit up room 20 and go see Ethel and she'll take care of you type situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There were some gentlemen back there that were very interested in the ladies. We'll just say that, and Rochelle can tell you all about what they were interested in. Yeah, they like the boobies, is what she said. Oh, they like the movies, but there was also a couple spirits back there that did not want us back there. So, and I almost just wonder if it's because it's been shut off for so long, and it's their space, right? And now it's starting to be opened up a little bit, and they're like, really, here we go. So, oh my gosh, ESP, can you name the forgotten thing, the Batwing?
There we go.
Oh, now
Good.
Googers wants to know, do we know the names for research reasons? No, we do not. We do not, Googers. Good grief. All right. So, event, you guys have graciously agreed to host us, and we have an event in August. Limited tickets, right? We're only doing 25 tickets. And you get to come in, and Teresa will give you a history tour, right? Walk through the building.
Yep.
And then you get to investigate with us. Is it 3 hours? 3 hours of investigating with us, and then you actually get a couple hours of free roam by yourself to go wherever you would choose throughout the hotel, and then kind of investigate on your own, or you can continue to investigate with us. It's completely up to you. But tickets are on sale. It's August 22nd, and they are $40, I think, right? Is
Yes.
that 40
Correct.
bucks? And then you also get snacks. Snacks are provided. Um,
Yes. We're working on.
Tim has
You should know Rob doesn't do anything small.
Wow.
So when he was tasked with snacks,
I was led to believe hot dogs are the ultimate snack, so I went out and got a machine. So there's going to be snacks.
yeah, there might be a quick trip.
Yeah.
Missing a hot dog everywhere. I don't know.
We're not sure. It's industrial size. Go get your ticket for the event. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have so much fun. But I also hear that there's talk of a porta potty on the streets now. Um, and it might have a certain someone's face on it. So the porta potty, is it in somewhere in Osceola is what I'm hearing? Is this correct?
Yeah, we'll hopefully soon we'll start working on that. Get some get your photo ops with it. Maybe have a Facebook page or somewhere where they can send their photos to get their names entered into a drawing where they could win something just for taking a picture with a porta potty.
You have to do a selfie with the porta potty.
Yep.
And
There you go.
you could win a prize. I mean, who would have thought?
Yep.
Who would have thought that porta potties are now the rage? I had no idea. I didn't, but now I do. 2 Erics and a Dookie approve.
There you go.
Oh man. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything that we didn't cover that you want to tell folks before we hop off for the evening?
No, I think we
Sounds good. That went by pretty quick.
hit the
did.
high points.
It did.
We hope to see everybody
Yeah.
Super
soon.
excited. Super excited for Saturday, right? Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Emmaus has been on my wish list, so I was really excited when I got the schedule that
Yes.
we're going to Emmaus. So.
Yes, we're collabing with ET Paranormal.
Can't wait to meet a bunch of you guys out there.
And then
Say that again?
Mind's Eye Paranormal and Ozarks. Don't forget. What'd you say, Dan?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Rob? Sorry.
I can't wait to meet the more. We've only been on 2 investigations so far, but I can't wait to meet the rest of the community out there on these investigations.
Yeah. Yes, and kind of see different investigative styles and how people do things
Yeah.
and how they approach. Yeah, it's fun. It's good to see what everybody does, and it kind of gives you an idea. And we're always learning too. I still pick up things, go along the way, kind of like the soups on Sunday, the soups in the prison, and it's kind of fun too when it actually works. So. Charlotte said amazing. We love it. What is this? Tim says I need to dress like Cousin Eddie and find that porta potty.
There you go.
Oh man.
Here's full.
And Duker says thanks for a great evening. Can't wait to see you guys in July.
Thanks, dude.
Charlotte says she's been to Emmaus 4 times. Let's see who else we have. Thanks for a great evening. A selfie in the potty is what Duker said. Oh, Wizard Fingers. It's from
Selfie in the
Haunted.
potty. Oh, wow.
Good
A
grief.
little more than
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely, if you haven't, go get your tickets for August. If you don't have anything on the calendar, August 22nd, come investigate with us at the Commercial Hotel, haunted historic commercial hotel. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a great time. I think we've already sold 5, so they're going pretty quickly. And I feel like they'll go even faster when it gets closer to a time. So limited to 25 tickets. So yeah, it's on the Haunted Commercial page, and you can also find it on Patriots page as well. So
Snack time.
all right, it's snack
Hard-boiled
time.
eggs. Hard-boiled eggs.
Great.
In these trying times.
All right, guys.
Slap your mom
Thank
on
you.
it. Yeah.
Please
There
don't
you
bring
go.
those on Saturday.
Amen.
No, not those snacks.
75 for 14
right.
minutes. You get a hard-boiled egg.
Oh, we'll see you guys soon. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, guys.
Have a good night.